Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how I make English cake. Don't get me wrong, I said English cake. I didn't say vanilla cake. So this is the measurement. You start by taking all your measurements of the ingredients you're using and setting aside. You don't want to start baking and at some point you remember, oh, I forgot to um, bring in so ingredient. You're going to have so much challenges and issues. You may eventually end up forgetting something. So always begin by taking measurements of all the ingredients you're going to be using. So I took measurement of butter. I'm using butter, and I took the measurement of sugar, and now I'm whipping the sugar and the butter together. I'll allow that to mix while I monitor it. In another mixer bowl, with the help of my hand mixer, I'm going to be mixing my eggs. Okay, when a recipe calls for add in an egg at a time, please do that. When you add in an egg at a time, it only helps you make sure the eggs are well incorporated. That's why every recipe calls for add an egg at a time. So in the meanwhile, I thought I should mix all my eggs together. This is what I'll normally do when I'm baking my cakes. I mix them all together so it's easier for me to add when I'm adding. I still add bit by bit, but it's easier. Another thing you should take note of is scraping your mixer bowl. I have scraped this mixer bowl about 3, 4, 5 times because the more you scrape, the more you remove the butter and sugar that are by the bowl sides, that are by the side of the bowl, and you scraping your bowl makes you work better because you know, okay, you don't have any sugar clumps or butter clump by the side of your bowl. I went in with um flavor. I went in with flavor into my butter and sugar mixture while I am adding in the egg. You can add a little bit of flavor into your egg to kill that smell that egg comes with. So you add your mix and you begin to add in the egg bit by bit. This is exactly what I am doing, adding the eggs bit by bit. Let's say one at a time, and you keep mixing. If you don't mix on at least speed 3 or 4, your sugar and butter egg mixture will begin to curdle and give you some kind of looks. But don't be worried about that. Keep mixing till you get a double in size egg, sugar, and butter batter. When it becomes fluffy and pale, you know that your batter is ready, it's good to go. This is me again scraping. I can't emphasize less on scraping your bowls. Make sure you scrape at least 3 times, and make sure you beat your egg, sugar, and butter to fluffiness. You want it to double in size, become pale and fluffy. This is the trick to getting a soft, moist, and tender, delicious cake. Everything begins from your mixture. If you are not the patient type, you just want to mix cake and go, your cake will be hard. But the more you whip it well, it doubles in size, it becomes pale. You are assured that your cake is gonna be fine. Now these are my dry ingredient. I sifted in my baking powder and flour together. Another thing I can't stop making emphasis on is sift your flour. Sift your flour. Learn how to take measurement. If a recipe calls for 112 or 11 gram, make sure that is what you're giving. Don't say it's just 1 gram, or no, I just added 2 grams. No, if a recipe calls for a particular measurement, this is why I say, if you watch my other videos, I tell you to always have a weighing scale around you and make sure you always take measurement. I never mix my batter aside from other cakes, but I always try to mix my batter with my hand. I fold in, I don't mix with a mixer. When you mix with a mixer, it tends to be hard. But when you use your hand to fold in, you arrive at a very beautiful cake because you folded in your dry ingredients. So this is our cake out from the oven. Trying to pat it, I'll always play like this just to make sure the cake releases itself from the pan. You see, this is why we grease our pan. Make sure your pan is greased, and remember to put a parchment paper, even if it is at the bottom, if you're not putting at the sides. It helps your cake comes out easily. We are done. The cake is out of the oven, and this is the outcome of our English cake. What I normally do with my cakes are, once I am able to remove them from their baking pan, I tend to wrap them when they're still a bit hot. I tend to wrap them in a cling film and allow them sit out for at least an hour or so. Then, if I'm not using it at that moment, I tend to put it in the freezer. Get me? I put cakes in the freezer immediately when I wrap them and they are cool to touch. This is a bit hot. Why are we doing this? So that the moisture will be trapped into the cake and your cake will come out so delicious. So this is our cake, y'all.